Gain insight into the latest governance issues from prominent thought leaders in corporate governance as Drexel's LeBeau College of Business Center for Corporate Governance presents Evidence and Perspectives.
I think one of the biggest challenges we're going to have with implementing IFRS as a country is the amount of training and knowledge that needs to be transferred to a broad variety of stakeholders, whether it's the management team, board of directors, quite frankly the auditors. Our firm right now is spending a lot of time making sure that our professionals understand the principles of IFRS. The challenge that we have is that we still have to follow US GAAPS, so we're now learning two sets of standards and have to stay current on both of those. Drexel's really in the forefront because they've started an IFRS training class. They have a former partner from a Big Four accounting firm that's leading that effort, and as a Drexel alum, it makes me happy that Drexel is leading this effort. I think we're going to see a lot of universities doing that over the next 3 or 4 years to prepare our next generation of accountants to understand what the accounting principles are. There should be a difference in the way an audit committee behaves once IFRS is adopted. The auditors and the board have a responsibility to discuss management judgments, the auditor's view of how management adopts accounting policies, etc. And under US GAAP, which is a very prescriptive standard, or a very prescriptive set of standards, the auditor's responsibility is to say they followed these rules correctly. Now clearly there's judgments in US GAAP, in the US GAAP environment. But under IFRS, there's a much broader set of interpretations that need to occur. Just for an example, for revenue recognition, there may be 500 or so pages under US GAAP that say this is how you record revenue. And then under IFRS, there might be 20 pages worth of literature. So that difference isn't just in the number of pages, is the amount of management interpretation that has to occur. The challenge that we have in the US markets is that our investors are very earnings focused, very short-term focused. And my concern is that there could be the ability for management to have an untoward bias towards achieving an earnings result versus the correct accounting result. We have that issue now. I think under IFRS, it may be easier to reach that end. The audit committee is going to have a pretty big responsibility to make sure that they're asking the right questions to the auditor, that they're talking through issues, and that they clearly understand that there is a different way of evaluating the appropriate accounting standards under IFRS than there is under US GAAP.